Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Last 50. My name is Mary and this is me chronicling my journey to lose my last 50 pounds. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, liking the video, and clicking that bell to make sure you get updates every time I upload new content. So today's Sunday, July 5th, and I am due a weigh-in for the week, so I will insert that here. So 197, which was about a pound lost for this week, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not gonna make any excuses for anything. Like, my eating was a little crappy this week, especially with 4th of July. I was also trying something different with my meal plan, and I didn't like it, and I stopped doing it halfway through, so I'm not really happy about that at all. I'm sorry, I just finished the workout. So I meal planned all day yesterday, or meal prepped all day yesterday, and I'm going back on what I normally do because I did not like this change that I was trying. Don't like it, didn't want to do it anymore. So I think that affected it somewhat. I also did two really heavy leg workouts in the last 2 days, so there's probably some inflammation there as well that's causing a little bit of a weight gain. But yeah, my eating was shit, so I'm not gonna I'm surprised I lost a pound. So anyway, got that worked out for next week, so I'm not gonna sweat it. See what happens next week with the new weigh-in. I'm expecting different results. So I want to talk about a few things. I had asked for some, my hair is just awful today, some topic suggestions of things that you were thinking about or wanting to talk about. And one of the suggestions that was given to me was unexpected, I guess, I don't want to say side effects, but unexpected side effects from major weight loss. So I took some notes, so if you see me looking down for a minute, it's because I wrote down a list of some of the things that I think are a unexpected side effect that I didn't realize would happen. So I think this totally stupid one, but I am a bruiser, as you can see. So from lifting, I end up with random bruises all over my legs and my arms. So that's kind of weird to me. I didn't expect that would happen, but I guess I don't even realize sometimes where I'm putting the weights or how they're hitting me. So, okay. So the first true one I have down here is loose skin. So I knew that skin was going to be a problem, especially because I was severely morbidly obese. And I knew that since I started this later in life, my elasticity in my skin was probably not gonna really help at all. I had probably lost a lot of it. I've also had 2 children, so my body, that it just wasn't gonna recover from it as well as, say, somebody younger with less weight to lose. So I knew there was going to be loose skin. I just didn't realize how much of an impediment it was going to become in my workouts and my quest to lose weight. So you all know that I've had skin removal surgery on my arms, and I've had a body lift. So I've had my stomach and my breast tissue removed, extra skin there. But part of the reason why everyone was like, why are you doing your arms first? Part of the reason why I was doing my arms first was because I had so much skin hanging that it was getting in the way of doing certain exercises. And it was the same thing with my stomach. I couldn't do, my squats weren't getting low. Crunches, any kind of ab work didn't feel very effective because that skin was in the way of doing it. Also, the heat, rashes, just annoying. So I'm fortunate enough that I was able to do something about it. I just didn't expect it to be as much as it was. I didn't expect it to also, after I had surgery, to have to basically be like, I need to do it again. Like, I know I keep pointing this out, but I look at my arms and I see this still. Like, I look at my arms and I feel like they're big still. They're definitely not as big as they were, but like, I look at them and I'm like, okay, they look great, sort of, but there's still more that can come off. And I think that that's a little upsetting. I think another unexpected thing is that, the more you progress you make, your whole kind of vision of yourself changes. And I've mentioned this in other videos, but it's very hard for you to look at yourself sometimes in the mirror and really like what you're seeing if you see like lots of loose skin or your body is not changing in a way that you expected. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm sorry guys, I'm sitting in my garage, so the outside it's too nice not to be in the house. I think I mentioned this before, like, especially somebody like myself who has lost so much weight and had a tremendous amount of weight to lose. The expectation is that you're going to look like this skinny person, and that may not be the case. I may have lost almost 300 pounds, but I'm still like high 100s, and I'm still overweight. I might not be as overweight as I am or I was, but I'm still overweight. So it's not, I don't look thin. And I think some people see that. Other people have like their self-esteem skyrockets and they're great. And I feel like my self-esteem has picked up, but I guess it took this person really wants these people to like come out of their house. I guess, I guess I expected to look a little bit different than I do. I mean, I'm happy with how I look. I'm happy with my progress, but at the same time, I sometimes feel like when I talk to y'all or I present myself as somebody who's lost a lot of weight, that I kind of am, I don't want to say a fraud, but I'm not really the picture of what y'all think or what people would think of somebody who's lost a tremendous amount of weight. So that was a whole big convoluted thing about loose skin and your appearance. So the second thing I have written down, sleep. I sleep so much better. I didn't expect that. I used to be somebody who just, tossed and turned, was tired all the time because I didn't get a good night's sleep. Now, especially with the regular exercise, I hit that bed and I'm out. The only thing is, like, I'm one of those people that doesn't need 12 hours in a row, so I'll sleep for like 3 to 4 hours and then I'll get up for an hour and then go back to sleep. So it sucks in that regard, but I don't have a problem falling asleep. I used to have tremendous problems falling asleep, and now I have no issues. Some people may find like they've had sleep apnea or something like that, and that might go away because of a weight loss, so that's something else. Other people they become somebody who don't sleep, and I don't know what the cause of that is, but I've heard that a lot, that people are either better with their sleep or it just totally screws them up. I don't know. And it might be related to the cause of this next one, which I have, which is you're cold all the time. I am like freezing all the time. So in the winter, I'm constantly cold, and in the summer, I am cold with the AC on. Like, outside it's hot as hell. I come inside and I'm like the person with the blanket, and it basically comes down to your metabolic rate has changed, so you might feel colder more. And I was not expecting that. Like, I'd always heard that was something that like thin people or people who've lost a lot of weight have experienced, but I never really realized it was very true until it started happening to me. So that was kind of a really unexpected one. So the another one I have is your depression. Your depression won't go away. I think a lot of people who are morbidly obese or have a significant amount of weight to lose, there is depression there. If you suffer from depression, I suffer from depression. I'm on medication for it. Losing a tremendous amount of weight did not change the fact that I had depression. Mine is definitely a chemical situation, so I had to get on medication to make it better. Other people, it might not be that it's a chemical thing. There might be something that you need to face. Like, someone was saying that I was talking to said, you have to face your demons. There's a reason why you are overeating. There's a reason why you're coping with food, and you're feeling the way you do. So losing weight is not like this magical fix to all the problems that you have. You're not automatically happy all the time. Your problems aren't solved. The reason why you are using food as comfort is not going to go away unless you identify it and can deal with that. So so that's part of it. I kind of figured out that my depression, while somewhat relates to my obesity, was also just chemical to me, because when I was pregnant with my first child, I tried to go off of let me backtrack for a second. I have depression and an anxiety disorder. So when I finally decided to get on medication, which is a whole other story that maybe one day we'll talk about, but I started taking medication for the anxiety. And once that stopped, and I was very lucky, I tried something and it worked immediately. I didn't have to try 10 drugs or anything. As soon as that got handled, this overwhelming depression came over me. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? And I was like, I was so busy being anxious and freaking out all the time and having panic attacks, I kind of ignored the fact that I had depression. So then I went on medication for the depression, and it helped tremendously. So when I was pregnant with my first child, I tried to go off of my medication for depression, and that lasted about a week before I was like, I can't do this. I have to go back on. And my doctor was like, yes, please, because it's better for you to be mentally sound and stable than upset and, anything that the medication could possibly do. It was bad. It was really bad. The medication extraordinarily has a very good effect on me. It works very well. So depression's not going to go away. You don't lose weight. It's not a magic cure. You might, you look better, you feel better about yourself, but if there's something underlying there that's causing you to feel depressed or anxious or something, you're going to have to deal with that. The next one I have is hangry. I laugh, but yeah, I get, you get angry when you're hungry. I was so used to eating whenever I wanted, what I wanted. And then once I started losing weight, I was on kind of like a meal kind of schedule. I eat kind of every 2 hours, till I finish with my food for the day. And oh my God, if I go over that time, sometimes I get so angry and irritable because my body is just like, we need to eat. So it's real. I know a lot of people realize that because they've suffered from this themselves, but I just really didn't expect to be have such a visible effect on me. My husband knows when I'm like, geez, when I need to go eat, because he's just like, is it time to eat? Because you're being really bitchy. And I'm like, yes, I gotta go eat. So your body just gets used to a schedule, and it gets kind of aggravated. It gets kind of upset when you get off of it. The other one I have is uneven weight loss. So everybody carries their weight in different ways. Everybody loses their weight in different places. For me, I lost my breasts first. And I usually, my arms, like I said, I had a lot of loose skin in my arms because they were losing. my legs look like they've melted, and my stomach was just, those are like the places that we're going. I've mentioned this prior, that one leg is different than the other, so it's an uneven kind of situation there, and I hate it, and it's becoming more and more noticeable. There's really nothing I can do short of having surgery to remove the excess skin and have lipo, but since that's not something I'm doing right now or in the near future, I just deal with it. Compression pants do the Lord's work. The other part that I get upset about is I feel like this is totally just a me thing. I feel like my face is like the last place I'm losing weight, because I feel like no matter how much weight I lose, I will always have like this double chin here. I mean, this is getting into my issues. I can't stand my profile, and I can't stand this. And I'm just kind of like, what do I need to do? Do I need to have this like done? Because it's just, wow, like I hate it so much. And I feel like no matter how much weight I lose, it never goes anywhere. So yeah, it's kind of like an uneven or not happening, where you can't really like say, I want to lose weight here. I mean, you can target muscle groups to work on and areas to work on, but it doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to happen in an even and orderly way. So that's something that was unexpected and kind of a bummer. But, just press on. And then your workouts become fun. I know people like laugh at that, but I like my workouts. I love working out now. I have to do it. If I don't work out, I am in a bad mood all day. My husband, my kids know when I have not worked out, because I am I am not a happy person. It really does put me in a good mood. The endorphins, the adrenaline, everything, it just really makes me feel better. I do one rest day a week. It's usually Fridays, because I work on Fridays. And, even then I'm kind of like, I want to, but I can't, 7 days a week is not in the cards and not good. So I won't do that. But yeah, if I don't work out every day, or at least, on a regular schedule, I get really irritable. So I never thought my workouts would be fun. I never thought I'd enjoy them, but you do. You build up your stamina. You're able to lift more. You become stronger. You're able to do things you weren't able to do like 2-3 weeks ago, last week even. So it's something that's just like a positive reinforcement. Like I was just telling my husband this morning, I was doing bicycles, and it's so weird to do them now, because I can actually touch my knee to my elbow, which before never happened. And that's a good thing. And I'm like really excited and kind of proud about that. So, so those are just a couple of things. I mean, there are other scientific, biological things that happen. I haven't experienced them. But if you look up like some side effects of losing weight, there are things like you might lose some hair. There's hair loss that can be associated with hormonal changes. I don't really feel like I've had any hormonal changes. I feel like any hormonal shift that I've had has happened after having my children. It did not really happen after I've lost weight. I don't feel like any of it changed in that way. I definitely noticed a change post having kids, but since then I haven't noticed anything really. Depending if you're a female, depending upon how much weight and how fast you're dropping, you may stop menstruating. That's a problem. That's probably a clue that you are losing weight very rapidly or in a very unhealthy way, or there might be another issue there, so you might want to get that checked out with a doctor. Something very common for people who lose weight, you might have a gallbladder issues, because you're not eating as much fat anymore, so you might get gallstones, and that's something that may happen. what else? If you're a female, it might increase the chances of you getting pregnant, depending upon, that has hormones and, I don't know. Never had that problem. So, but that is something I've read that can be affected. You might increase your chances of getting pregnant. So other stuff, studies have shown that if you have lost weight and you're thin, you're more likely to get a raise or promotion at work, because that is how the world is, and the world sucks. So apparently thin people make more money and are, usually promoted faster or more than people who are fat or obese. So that's something that, that's a crappy statistic, but it's something that's true. There's also you might feel very exposed now. When you're overweight, you're kind of used to not being looked at by people. And then once your body changes so drastically, it's like a spotlight has been shown right on you. And that can be kind of unsettling if you're not somebody who's used to being the center of attention. Thankfully for me, I'm pretty much completely oblivious to when people are looking at me or checking me out or whatever. My husband's always is the one who's pointing out. I'm like, whatever, I don't know. My mind doesn't necessarily go there to that. Like, I don't meet people or I don't see people looking at me and think that they're checking me out. I just am like, that's a person on the street just looking at me, whatever. But yeah, apparently it happens, and ignorance is bliss, people. Ignorance is bliss. I'm totally okay with not seeing it. So those are just a couple of the other negative side effects. I mean, there's plenty of positives. Your energy goes up. I've found that I have way more energy. Your overall health gets better. I mean, obviously you're improving your health. People have seen things like, being pre-diabetic and then, losing weight and exercising, and that problem goes away. Like I said, sleep apnea, fertility issues can also change. So there's a lot of positive health problems that can be alleviated. If you have joint issues or pain in certain areas of your body, losing weight obviously alleviates the amount of stress that's on your joints and muscles and your bones, your back, stuff like that. So there's a ton of positive things, and I think we all know what the positive things are about losing weight because they're shoved down our throat constantly, but a lot of people don't want to talk about some of the negatives. And I think not necessarily everything I mentioned here is an extreme negative, but I think there are things that we don't think about. I know that when people are going to get weight loss surgery, they actually should be, I think part of the process is to have a psychological evaluation, and part of that they talk, I've talked to my friends who've had weight loss surgery, that part of that is, discussing what's going to happen after you've dropped all this weight. Are you going to be able to handle this, or are you going to be looking to deal with the underlying issues and things like that. So yeah, I think we don't think about that stuff. I think in the society that we live in, we think that weight loss is the ultimate cure for all of life's problems, and it's just not. It has its own issues that come with it, and I hope that I've shed some light on a couple of things. If you have any questions, or if you have any comments about some of the stuff that I've mentioned, or want any more information about some stuff, I'm happy to give you or post some information in the comment section. Just let me know in the comments what you need, or you can contact me on any of my socials. I have no problem citing my sources. So yeah, if you want to have a conversation about it, just hit me up. So that's it for this week, guys. I think I'm working on a video that's going to be doing a sports bra comparison, which I can't, I started filming and I just can't take it seriously because the thought of me jumping up and down in a sports bra kind of makes me laugh. But I think it's a very useful think it's a useful kind of thing of information. A lot of people want to see what like sports bras look like when you have a bigger chest. What gives you good, so I'm going to work on that. I'm kind of editing it and filming it. I'm trying to keep a straight face. It's probably going to be funny because I can't keep a straight face, especially when my husband is the one helping me. It's just kind of like I can't keep a straight face. So I'm working on that. I'll do more meal preps if that's something people want to see. I have a couple other topics to talk about that I've been given, so I will hit that up in the next video next week. Like I said, I'll weigh in again next Sunday. So everybody have a great week. I hope you're being successful. I hope that, you know, things are working out for you. I wish you all the best. I have support for you guys. If you want any more support, feel free to get in touch with me. Have a great week, guys.